how extraordinary is it that as you've grown those guys up front, that great defense has been built on the back seven?
Yeah, well, I've also been really good up front and bad on the back. And we've had some great players up front around here, but we didn't line up right. We didn't cover guys. We turned them loose, so it don't really matter. You got guys running wide open because you weren't disciplined on the back end. And so to me, it goes hand in hand. I think a good front can get neutralized in a heartbeat if you're not good on the back end. Because they can scheme you up, they can play action you, and if you're not disciplined, and I've seen that. And so, we had that one year where, oh my gosh, we might have been 15. We were kind of dysfunctionally good. We were one of the best defenses in the country, and we were like 110th in big plays given up. We're pretty good up front, but we just, we give up a 50-yard play in a heartbeat because we weren't as disciplined and as detailed as we needed to be. And so it definitely starts there because you can be great on the back end, but if you can't stop the run and do the things that you need to do in the trenches, then you're in for a long day because you can't cover guys forever when you play good people. So I think it goes hand in hand, but this particular year it's been huge because those guys have really come through for us up front. I mean, they really have. I mean, those 5 ends that have gotten the majority of the time have gotten better and better and better. They're improving. They all have their strengths. They all have things they got to get better at and will as they develop as players. And then Niles has really come through. Obviously, Tyler Davis and Jordan developed a little bit of depth in there. So those guys have kind of been out of the spotlight. Last year, the light was really bright right there, and it's not been as bright, but they've just been doing their job. And it's been really good. It's been strength in numbers. But the back end is kind of where the spotlight is. They have made it all go. It starts with our backers. Cannot say enough about those guys. I mean, it's just been awesome. Isaiah and Skowski, they could probably get player of the game every week. Chad Smith, he's gotten better and better, had his best game. He was our player of the game this week. Mike Jones, Jake, Balin probably had their best game. Kane gotten better and better and better. Balin is really probably kind of a co-starter. I mean, he's at that level. So just really those guys, and then we got grown men in that secondary. I mean, guys that have played a lot of ball, and they're really committed. Muse and Kayvon and Nolan and Denzel and AJ and DK's has been huge for us. But the guys prepare. They take a lot of pride. But it really starts with those backers setting the tone, and kind of down the middle with Muse and Kayvon. They've just taken a lot of ownership of what we do, and have become the lead. Last year it was kind of led up there, and this year it's led on the back. But it still all goes together, and just super proud of them. Super proud.
You mentioned DK. How have you seen him take on that role this year, and how's he grown into it, and what have you seen him evolve into?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, he's really like a true freshman. I mean, that's how you have to look at him. He didn't play any corner last year. He was all receiver, and he could be a great wideout. He made some big plays for us last year, but it was just a situation where, we kind of had a gap, and we had a bunch of guys hurt, and y'all know the story. We just threw him over there, and it was like, you just threw a fish in water. He was gone. So the rest is history. But it's really amazing how quickly he's transitioned. But he's still not as detailed as he needs to be. He's not as disciplined as he needs to be. But man, he is pretty amazing for a first-year guy. He's got an awesome skill set for the position. But the biggest thing is he's got a mindset. He's got the toughness. He's got the confidence, and just really proud of him. But he's come through in a big way. And then Mario has really developed into a really good player. And so, we've got probably those 3 guys we kind of look at as starters with their ability. And then, Sheridan and Booth and Lee Anthony, developing guys that have given us really quality depth there.
What is Denzel's status, and do you expect Xavier Thomas to play on Saturday?
Denzel, it wasn't his AC, just a kind of a bruised shoulder. So he's probably day-to-day. We'll see how he does today when we put the pads on. And same thing with Xavier. He looked pretty good last night. It was the first time that they really ran him, you get into these concussion protocols, everybody responds differently. It's not and it's just not something that you just don't mess with. And he got rocked pretty good by John in practice in our inside drill, and it was he got, it shook him. It was on like a Wednesday or something. So he was out that game, and then he just wasn't able to go last week. He just couldn't. You got to be able to practice and go out there and put the pads on, and he couldn't do it Tuesday and Wednesday. Not that he couldn't do it, he didn't qualify to do it. He probably could, and there's probably a day and time where he probably would have been out there doing it. The game has changed. I got knocked out in Bryant-Denny one time, literally knocked out cold right in the temple on a dig route, and I woke up in the training room back at the football facility. I don't remember anything. I was back at practice in about 2 or 3 days, just a different deal, but we were pretty stupid then too, we just know more, we didn't wear seatbelts back in the day either. I used to ride on the back of my dad's truck, 2-seater truck, lawn chair on the back, 80 miles an hour down the interstate, everywhere we went, sitting in a lawn chair, I was pretty stupid too, but that's just kind of, so you just never know. And so it's just, you have to qualify to get back into practice. And they're not going to let a guy play a game if you can't go out there and demonstrate that you can, do the physical part. And so he just couldn't pass the protocol last week in time to play. And then, last night we're in shorts and, so first time we've been with him, because they're off on Sunday, so he ran and did what he needed to do. So today we'll see where he is. I don't know if he's going to be out there in green and I don't know. How's he going to do? How's he going to respond? I have no idea, and really don't even ask. I just we'll meet in the morning, and Danny Poole we go over injury report every morning, and he'll let us know the results of Tuesday, and we go from there. But I'm hopeful, but nothing guaranteed.
What can you say about Justin Foster replacing him?
Justin's been great. Justin has been tremendous. He's been productive. He's coming off really back-to-back games where I think he's really played well. He's been one of our leaders coming into the season. We knew he was going to have a good year. He did some good things for us last year as a sophomore. He's one of those guys that played as a true freshman, that probably didn't play as much as you'd like, but we kind of had to have him. And, it's paying off for him this year. He's just a very steady guy, and his confidence has grown. He's playing faster. He's strong, heavy-handed. He had to transition too. He was a linebacker, so learning a position. So I'm really proud of Justin. And then Logan Rudolph. He's just, you just can't have a more steady guy. That game this past week. He was like a pig in mud. Things crashing into each other every snap. That's Logan. He's just built for that, and he just maximum effort all the time, does what he's supposed to do, and really proud of him. And then KJ, I thought really took another step this past week. Can't say enough about KJ. He's getting better. He's learning. Going to be a great player. And then same thing with Maskell. Didn't grade as well as I'd like him to grade, but he's on the right track. And so it's a good group, and we get Xavier back in there, man. It's just makes us better. And so, the fact that he's been out a couple games, that group's had to kind of really step up, and that's just, thankfully nobody else has gotten hurt. But when we get them all back healthy and everybody back in the pod there, we got a pretty productive group. Really pleased with them. Ski's done a great job with them.
Coach, I know you rave about the game day environment here. I'm curious, when you get to that Saturday, how much time do you just take in to soak in the environment as you're trying to prepare your team to play their best?
Oh, I soak it in every single time. I mean, we get 7 days. You know, I ride by the stadium every day. It's empty most of the time, right? So we get 7 days. So it's awesome. I mean, the Tiger Walk is unbelievable. You know, just the intensity of that and the excitement, and you know, I just have a great appreciation for our fans. A lot of these folks travel from a long way in and out, and I love. That's why we come through campus. You know, we could easily just shoot down and hang left on perimeter and come on down, but we go through campus, and you know, because it's just I like for our team to see the tailgates and to see the kids playing and see people. You know, it's just a blast. You know, our fans are awesome, and so I soak it in every single time. You know, coming into the game, passing Max, seeing cars lined up, and we have to get off to the other side, and police bring us in across. I mean, it's just people lined up in traffic and people walking. You know, we come up now, we get off up there because they're redoing the road, so we're having to go up to 93, and there's people walking from down there by the Tiger Mart, you know, all the way. You know, and it's just awesome. You know, and then of course, just you know, every time you come around the stadium. I mean, it's just amazing. It's an unbelievable experience every single time. So I try to soak it in all the time, and then get on about our business.
Anybody else?
From where Xavier was when the concussion first happened, you've seen him make steady progress, or how has he kind of reacted since?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm not on the field. You know, he's with Danny Poole and them, but yeah, he's made a lot. Oh yeah, he's made tons of progress. So, you know, hopefully he'll be able to go this week. But, you know, if they decide to hold him another week, well, that's what they decide to do. We don't really have any say in that.
Coach, what are some of the challenges of scheming for an option offense, especially when it's something that you're really only going to face maybe once or twice a year?
Well, I think it's fun. I mean, that's what makes college football unique and really challenging because you see so much diversity, whether in the defensive structures that we play, same thing in offense. You know, I think in the NFL it's much more cookie cutter. You know, it's just so much carryover and similarities from week to week. You know, and you only got whatever 32 teams or whatever they have, and now you got all these different teams, and it's just, you know, many different brands and styles of play. I think that's what makes it fun and challenging and unique. So it's good. But it's something that you try to prepare for, not just this week. You know, we do a lot of pre-study in the springs, and especially when coaching changes and things get settled in, and studying maybe where some of the coaches came from and so forth. And then our summer scouting. So we try to have a little bit of a base. So you're not starting from ground zero, and then our support staff's always a week ahead of us to kind of get us up to speed on Sundays when we move on to the next team.
I'm sure you saw the highlight over the weekend of Deshaun Watson kind of at the play of the weekend getting kicked in the face
Yeah.
and still delivering the game-winning touchdown. Does anything he do still surprise you at all?
No, he's amazing. I mean, he's a guy you better get on the ground, you know, because he's going to make a play. He's amazing, and I've enjoyed, you know, text with him beforehand. I was messing with him, telling him watch out for Klee, and you know, but it was really cool just watching all those guys play, and you know, it's really one of the most gratifying things is seeing your former players do well. Not just guys going in the NFL, but seeing some of our guys that come back. You know, I saw Gift Timothy yesterday. Big Gift came through here, and you know, he lives out in Houston, and he was in town going up to Spartanburg with his job. And so I love seeing our former players, you know, just, you know, later on in life being successful. And it's certainly fun to see them continuing to play the game at the highest level and you know, see so many guys doing well. And that was a lot of guys. It was pretty cool. I think President Clements went out there for the game. And, you know, we had one of our staff, Maddie, she went out there and got some good pictures and some video, and so it was a pretty cool moment for all those guys. And then, of course, Renfro, you know, gets his first touchdown. That was awesome to see that, and especially with he and Deshaun, you know, playing against each other. So lot of good memories. I'm sure those guys had a fun time, chit-chatting, and, that's pretty cool because, they're obviously opponents now, and, but they always will have that bond. And even some of the guys that didn't play with each other, a guy like Reeder, he didn't play with Trayvon. But they all know each other. That's a pretty unique thing about sports in general, but certainly Clemson.
You say you're going to have a general come in and speak to the team. How do you see the players and maybe some of the newer guys kind of embrace the whole military appreciation?
Well, I actually asked yesterday in our team meeting. I asked how many of these guys have family in the military, and it was like probably half the room, went up. It's pretty easy. We wear and they get fired up to wear the purple. That's the only time I let them wear that, and that's been a tradition for us, and so that'll be a really cool thing. But they love it. I mean, again, it's the new guys coming in here. They don't know. They'll figure it all out as we go through this week. But the guys that have been around here, they have a really great appreciation, and so everybody's got to figure out who's going to run the flag down. So I kind of let them take ownership of that. We got a lot of, Chad Smith's dad's he's at the Pentagon now. He's been in the military forever. Justin Ross's mom, Putnam's dad, I think he's a lieutenant. So, I mean, we've got lots of military on this team. And so somebody will run the flag down for us. Last year it was Daniel Boyd, who's one of our grad assistants. And, he's served in 2 or 3 different tours over there, so we'll see who they want to run down with it this time. It's always a good week.
Some of the players mentioned Logan Rudolph as being quite the character in the locker room, and also some video presentations he's been putting out for those guys to enjoy. Can you expand on his personality a little bit?
Yeah, he is dry. He's very dry, but hilarious. I mean, literally hilarious. He just has this very serious demeanor to him all the time. He's very much about his business, and but he is absolutely hysterical because he's creative. Y'all probably remember his commitment video when he's out there chopping a tree in jorts, and so we have some fun. We come in in fact, he made the screen yesterday. Every Monday we do a kind of a fun video to kick off our Mondays, and he made the video yesterday. And then of course he has an alter ego called Coach Stiff. So the past few games we've been calling Coach Stiff up to address the team in post game, and that's been a lot of fun. Call him up and it'll be like, well, man, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Something crazy like that. That's, that's kind of, and he did some crazy recruiting video making fun of the recruiting process as Coach Stiff, with his little glasses and, talking about, yeah, buddy, it's been 24 hours since I last talked to you. Just wanted to make sure you slept well and, and you didn't forget about me or something, whatever. And it was so funny, and that's just random stuff like that, and so the guys they get a kick out of Logan. But he's a ball of intensity, and you just don't see that coming from him. But he's got this whole other side where he just is so funny. So we've had a little fun with him with Coach Stiff past few weeks.
What did he say to the team after the Boston College game? Was that the Rome bit, or was that something else?
I think that was the win in Rome, do as the Romans do, and I think, remember, who did we play before that? Louisville game. Yeah, I can't remember what his spiel was for that one. It was something about still not quite ready to offer you a scholarship or something. I can't remember. He went on about his spiel, but he just random, total randomness, but the guys just die laughing every time. So it's good.